Good morning. I feel like I'm not ready to go live yet, like energetically, but here we are. Here we are. I could have used like 10 more minutes this morning. Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 7 of Sensual Abundance. First of all, shout out to Vernita Adele for the sweatshirt. Self-care. Self-care is the revolution. Sorry, I can't see all that all the way. Self-care is the revolution. Check out Vernita Adele. Um, Black people are America's hot sauce because we are. I know everybody's going to come in on their own time, but welcome. It is day 7 of Sensual Abundance. So we are, I did say I felt like I needed like 10 more minutes right before I got ready. I did say that. Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 7 of Sensual Abundance. My name is Debbie Maisha, and I am the Sensual Energy Alchemist. I am a master life coach, a sacred sexuality teacher, and my work centers around reconnecting Black women to their freedom, sovereignty, and power through their sensuality and their pleasure. Good morning. And so, why then abundance? Because, not only do I want you to have an abundance of orgasms, an abundance of pleasure, but an abundance of great health, an abundance of friends, an abundance of lovers, and an abundance of wealth. Why not? Why not? Right? So we are using the Abundance book by John Randolph Price. It's 40 days. 40 is a very significant number. Yeshua meditated for 40 days. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam meditated for 40 days. And so 40 is a very significant number in the metaphysical world. And I haven't broken down that number yet or anything. And I'll make a mental note to get around to it later. All right, but today we're reading statement 7. Statement 7 says, the divine consciousness that I am is forever expressing its true nature of abundance. This is its responsibility, not mine. My only responsibility is to be aware of this truth. Therefore, I am totally confident in letting go and letting God appear as the abundant all sufficiency in my life and affairs. I'm going to read it again. The divine consciousness that I am is forever expressing its true nature of abundance. This is its responsibility, not mine. My only responsibility is to be aware of this truth. Therefore, I am totally confident in letting go and letting God appear as the abundant all sufficiency in my life and affairs. So I want to switch out the word God for our definition from statement 1. So statement 1, God is defined as, God is lavish, unfailing abundance, the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe. So I just want to substitute that out, just swap it out, see what it feels like. And you can do that throughout all of the statements. If you like that, lavish, unfailing abundance, the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe, use that in place of God or whatever other word that you're choosing to use. The divine consciousness that I am is forever expressing its true nature of abundance. This is its responsibility, not mine. My only responsibility is to be aware of this truth. Therefore, I am totally confident in letting go and letting the lavish, unfailing abundance, the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe appear as the abundant all-sufficiency in my life and affairs. Are you totally confident in allowing this rich, omnipresent substance of the universe appear as the abundant all-sufficiency in your life and affairs? Really, this whole entire 40 days is about who do you trust? What are you trusting? And we're done. No, but that's that if you're not getting it, that's the basic gist of this, right? Is who do you trust? What do you trust? Where is your faith? that's really the overarching theme of these 40 days. And it's not just this is not some religious pursuit, right? Do you just trust and believe in God? And this is not that. It's, do you trust and believe in your divine right to live in abundance, despite what you might see with your own eyes? Because what we see here isn't what our soul sees. And if you're not in the Facebook group, inside of there are people just, and I'm loving it, that there are people celebrating the things that are happening to them in their life. And what I've said before, I'll say it again. I'm not going to sit up here and, like, I did not do that. What this has provided is a space for people to begin to see abundance differently in their lives. That's the switch. And once you start seeing it differently, you start moving differently. Your perspective changes. That's what shifts. So I want to talk a little bit this morning, and real life, y'all. I have to take my youngest son to his eye doctor appointment. So we're not going to be as long today. I want to talk a little bit about frequency and vibration. We're going to get a little metaphysical here. Now I've got Olivia Newton-John's song playing in my head. Let's Get Physical is the song, if you're wondering what I'm talking about. From my studies, and I will usually always say from my studies and my point of view, because I cannot assume that my studies and my point of view is the only way or the way. That's dogma, and I abhor dogma. So from my studies, we are, as I've stated before, we're in this body. This body runs because our heart is pumping. Our heart is also an electrical valve, sends signals throughout the body, right? Our bodies emit a vibration. They emit a frequency. We can enhance that frequency depending on our perspectives, depending on how we see life. We can dampen that frequency depending on our perspectives and how we see life. And if we are living in a space of lack, we are sending out a frequency. We're dampening that frequency, that wealth frequency, that vibration of abundance that can possibly flow through us. That is what I have found in my studies, is that we are vibrational beings. We do emit our own frequency. It is how and why you can feel the energy of another person. It's how and why you can feel the energy of a space, the vibe, if you will, where you're like, something's off here. That's not in your mind. We each emit our own just our own our own signal, like our own radio signal, which is also why I often refer to the body as an antenna. When the signal is, when the antenna is clear, the signal comes through a lot clearer. Does this mean that you're going to be a millionaire in this lifetime? I don't know. Because is that what your soul really wants? Or is, we talked about desires yesterday, or is, because people will be like, well, I want X amount of dollars. First of all, it's good to have a goal. I have monetary goals. I don't limit my monetary goals. I have a goal for a specific amount of time, maybe, right? But I'm not going to limit the amount of abundance that the universe might give to me to say, I want to be a millionaire. The universe is like, okay, we was going to give you 5, but you said a million, so that's fine. So that's not like the goal right now, right? The goal could be a high net worth of something. I want you to expand beyond that. I don't want to say I want to be a millionaire, because why exactly do I want that? And I say that because people say that all the time. Why exactly do I want that? Is it because I want to be philanthropic? Is it because I just want to be able to buy a lot of things? Is it because I want to have all of the options for my health that are available to me. What are the underlying reasons for the number that you're choosing? Because the number itself is arbitrary. But what is it that you truly desire, like we talked about yesterday? Because if you focus on the desires, that can be given to you, and it might not look like $1 million. It might look like 700K, and you might be really good with that. It might look like $7 million. The number itself is arbitrary. What is the underlying thing, the vibration, the frequency? What is it that your soul is really looking for? So when we get clear, when this antenna becomes clear, which is part of what this 40 days is doing, I hope, when our perspective shifts, the antenna is clear, the perspective shifts, we're able to see not just with our eyes, but see with spirit differently. The vibration begins to shift because we are magnetic. Everything in the earth is magnetic. There's a North Pole and a South Pole. How can we not be? We are part of this rich, omnipresent substance of the universe. So if we are magnetic and if we emit our own frequency, then it makes metaphysical sense that we would, if we shift our frequency, draw to us what we need, want, desire. Does this make sense? And I believe in what is was the statement two? I draw into me. Statement four. I just said drawn to you. Statement four, through my consciousness of my God self, the Christ within as my source, as my source, as my sauce, as my source, I draw into my mind and feeling nature the very substance of spirit. We draw into. So what this 40 days is doing is shifting the perspective, tweaking the frequency, seeing the shift differently, noticing abundance everywhere. Let me get real sciencey with you for a moment before we go for the day. So there's something in the brain called the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system is designed to protect us. For instance, back in the day, way back in the day, our ancestors are out there, they're doing their thing. The lion comes up on you. The lion is a threat, right? The body goes into overdrive. It needs to run. The reticular activating system makes a note. When we see that thing, we know there's danger afoot. It's the same thing that happens if you're looking for a car. You will never see a yellow car until you purchase a yellow car, and now you're seeing yellow cars everywhere. The reticular activating system has made a note in the mind of what is happening. Daggone it, I just lost my train of thought of where I wanted to go with that. All right, let me see if I can bring it back. It was so clear in my mind. All right, so let me start from here. So, daggone it, I'm so mad at myself too, because it was a really great point. So I hope I bring it back. I said I wanted to get sciencey with you. All right, hopefully I'll come back to it. If not, I'll it's gonna bug me all day, and then I'm gonna remember it tomorrow, and I'll bring it back to you. So my bad. But now you know what the reticular activating system is, right? So what this is doing is helping to shift how you see the world, how you see abundance around you, and in doing so, shifting your magnetic field. Oh, that's see. So with the reticular activating system, when you see one thing, you see it around you all the time. This is what we're doing with this program. So when you see abundance one place, you're going to start to see it everywhere. That's what we're doing here. You see abundance one place, you see it here, you see it there, you see it everywhere. When you see it everywhere, it starts to draw to you. The world around you begins to shift. And this is really how you can change and shift your world and become the creator of your world. It's like the woman who says all men cheat, because and then when she says that, she keeps running across men who cheat because that's all she sees. That's all her perspective knows. She's always looking for the red flags. I found it. 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 I've been proven right. I found it. We're doing the opposite with abundance. I found it. I found it. I found abundance. I found it here. I found it there. It's everywhere. It's all around me. Everything is abundant. That's what we're doing with this 40 days, which is why the focus isn't on creating a certain amount of money, although some of y'all are experiencing the money shift, which is beautiful, and some of you are seeing the gifts that you're being given, which is amazing. And again, it's not that those things wouldn't have happened, but would you have seen it the same way? Would you have poo-pooed it or shrugged it? And now that you're seeing every day, it's like a new game. Where can I find abundance today? Where can I find this today? And the more you do that, the more you shift that frequency from lack to overflow. And the more you understand money is not your supply. No person, place, or condition is your supply. Your awareness, understanding, and knowledge of the all providing activity of the divine mind within you is your supply. And because your consciousness of this truth is unlimited, your supply is unlimited. It might be a gifted house. All right, so one last example, and then I'm going to read it again and I'm going to head out the door. When I was pregnant with my third child, we did not have a car. We were living in Northeast DC, Washington, DC. Not that you need a car in Washington, DC, but had a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old. Well, almost 4 and almost 3. So they were 3 and 2 at the time. And I was pregnant. And I remember, like, we couldn't afford one. I was part of a homeschooling group because that's what I was looking to do. Was I already home? I might have been already home. And let me tell you real quick, trauma messes up the timeline in your brain. Just in case you're one of those people who can't remember things, but you've been through traumatic experiences. I have holes of memories in my brain, so it's really difficult for me to sometimes remember when things have happened in my life, especially between the ages of 22 to like 40 to like 40. Like I have to sometimes write it down to figure out the timeline. Yes, like when you're on a road trip, exactly. All right, so we needed a car. I'm in this homeschooling group. And I put out a word if anybody knew about a car, we could purchase on the cheap or something like that. And there was this lovely family out in, I don't know where they're out in Gaithersburg, Maryland, somewhere. I don't know. They were out in the suburbs of Maryland. And she emails me and she says, "Oh, we have a car. We have a Mazda MPV. We have a Mazda minivan that we were just holding on to, and we wanted it to go to a good home." And see my face. Like, I'm a Black girl from New York City who giving me a car and why? Like, really? My husband went with a friend and went to pick up the car. They gave us the title and we got a car for free. We got a minivan for free. That might be a gifted house, reminded me of that. We just got a car. And that car served us well for a few years. At the time, I don't think I fully recognized that abundance for what it was. At the time, I didn't fully recognize the frequency that I was on because I was so busy living in lack, going by what I could only see, that I saw that as a fluke. I just saw it as one of those lucky things. In fact, when I look back on all of the gifts I've been given, I never strung it together to see how much I actually truly lived in abundance. The scholarships, going to boarding school on a scholarship, right? College scholarships, um, scholarships for programs for teachers and coaches and mentors. That's all abundance. Y- Yes, it could translate into a value. If I were to put a value of the cost of all of those things together, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars that I have been gifted that did not come in the form of cash. Hundreds of thousands of dollars that flew through me. It just didn't show up as cash. But here I was saying, where's my money? Give me cash. Taking for granted the abundance that came into my life because my perspective was one of lack. So I think that's the good assignment for today. If you can tally up rough roundabout figure of the, and you could just go big, you don't got to go granular because good Lord, I mean, some of us may have had millions of dollars of opportunities flow through our space. If you can look at the big things, and I can probably say over $1 million has flowed that I didn't see with my eyes, has flowed through me in gifts and opportunities and assistance and help and in all of the ways. When I really think about it, I've generated $1 million of things. Can you calculate how much? Because it'll make you feel a little different. You'd be like, oh snap, oh snap. I mean, I didn't see $553,000, but look at all of this equals that. You start to feel a little different. You start to feel a little wealthier. So that's my assignment to you, as much as you can. And you don't have to complete it all today, but as keep a sheet somewhere and start like just like what's the monetary value of some of the things you've experienced, trips that you've had paid for, a family friend was like, no, come with us. We got you covered. That's happened to me too. Well, I've got a timeshare. You don't have to pay for it. Here, hey, here's some gas money. Here, come into this program for free. Um, oh, you need help with your rent. Here it is. Oh, you got food stamps. Yeah, throw that in there. We need to talk about shame and money. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I have something else on my list, but I think we're going to talk about shame and money. We might do that. I'm gonna put it on my list. Talk about either one of the 3 days left for this week. All right, that is your assignment. Should you choose to accept it, see if you can tally up the abundance that has flowed through your life, and see if you can look at that number and go, see how wealthy you've actually been. See how wealthy you've actually been. All right, statement 7. The divine consciousness that I am is forever expressing its true nature of abundance. This is its responsibility, not mine. It's not your responsibility to be worried about all the hows, not yours. My only responsibility is to be aware of this truth. You're going to tally that up. You're going to become real aware of that truth. Therefore, I am totally confident in letting go and letting, I'm a substitute again, the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe appear as the abundant all sufficiency in my life and affairs. Therefore, I am totally confident in letting go and letting the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe appear as the abundant all sufficiency in my life and affairs. All right, you all. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you taking the time for you. Yes, this assignment. Ooh, I was doing it in my mind, just tallying it up like, girl, hey, how did you ever fix your face to be like, I don't have nothing? Like what? Like high school was already. If you've been to private school, you already know that you already know how much money that could possibly be. If you sent your child to private school and got scholarships that paid for it, you already know how much that could be. And I was there on scholarship. That alone, right there. Psst, whatever, man. We wealthy up in this piece, okay? All right, y'all. I will see you tomorrow around 9-ish for day 8. Enjoy your day. Bye.